Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Joseph again. I hope you really took the time and practiced how to count nickels and pennies and dimes and pennies. Before we get started this week, you're going to have 4 different lessons. You're going to be counting pennies, nickels, and dimes, quarters, pennies, nickels, and dimes, and we're going to talk about the dollar. So here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and put your computer on pause and go get some pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters, and then you'll be ready and set for all 4 videos. Let's do a quick review on all the coins we talked about last week. This coin was called the penny. It was worth 1 cent, and we know we count pennies by ones. This coin is the nickel. It's worth 5 cents, and we learned last week we count the nickels by 5s. This coin is the dime. We know that the dime is worth 10 cents, and we count the dimes by 10s. And then we came to the biggest coin, worth the most, and that coin is called the quarter, and it's worth 25 cents, and we count quarters by 25s. If you notice, I've been reviewing every time we do a video, counting by 25s. I'm going to do it really quick to $1. 25, 50, 75, $1. Go ahead and get your change and be ready. Okay, so go ahead, back up, push your money all back up, get your work mat all cleared off, and let's practice another one. Let's get out 2 dimes, 2 nickels, and 3 pennies. I see my dime, so I know I have to start counting my money by 10s. 10, 20, and now I see nickels. I have to count up by 5. That would be 25, another 5, 30, and then I stop and I see my pennies. I count on by 1. 31, 32, 33 cents. And I'm going to write it my second way. I'm going to go back and I'm going to recount this. 10, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33 cents. Don't clear off your board yet. I'm just wiping off my amounts because I want to show you a little trick. I see 2 nickels. When I'm first coming to 2nd grade, I learned that 5 plus 5 equals 10. It's a doubles fact. So sometimes I can take 2 nickels, and if 5 plus 5 equals 10, I can count them as a 10. So watch me. 10, 20, I see my 2 nickels, so maybe I just want to draw a line underneath and I know that I'm counting those by 10. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33 cents. So that's my little trick for you today, but you can only do it with nickels. 5 plus 5 equals a 10. Go ahead and clear off. If you have your math workbook, you can go ahead and get out your page, put me on pause, and get it ready to go. If you don't have your math workbook, you can click the link above and you can see the pages that we're working on. So this is just a little page that has bubblegum machines, and it says pennies are worth 1 cent, nickels are worth 5 cents, and dimes are worth 10 cents. So let's do the bubblegum machine that says pennies. How about we just get out 6 pennies? We're going to count those pennies and we're going to see how much is in the bubblegum machine. Let's count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cents. Let's get out 3 nickels. I remember that I count nickels by 5s, so let's count and see what's in the bubblegum machine. 5, 10, 15 cents. And let's get out 2 dimes. I remember I count dimes by 10s. Let's count and see how much is in the dimes bubblegum machine. 10, 20 cents. Okay, clear off. Go ahead and flip to the next page. Up top, you're going to see everything we've talked about in the videos. Vocabulary word, dime, worth 10 cents. Nickel, worth 5 cents. Penny, worth 1 cent. We always count the dimes by 10. We count the nickels by 5s, and we count the ones, or the pennies by 1s. Let's go down to the bottom because this is everything we've been practicing. What I like to do is I like to get my money that I have in a pile, and I like to cover my coins that I see, because it's always important to be able to touch the money while you're counting it. So I'm going to get out my dime, I'm going to get out my nickel, and I'm going to get out my penny. Let's start counting, just like we were doing before when we started the video. I see my dime, 10 cents, and I have to remember I need to stop and I have to think. I need to count up 5 more. If you're not sure, you can always count on, or if you're ready to go, you can say 10, 15, 16 cents. And over here, I always like you to write the money the second way, 16 cents. Let's do the next one. Get out your coins. Let's see if you can get them out without me calling which coin you need. Right away when I look at this, I remember the tip I gave you. 2 nickels, 5 plus 5, always equal 10. So I think today that's how I'm going to count this one. And I'm going to draw a line right here, and I'm going to put that money right on top of it. So I'm counting by dimes. 10, 20, 30. I see 2 nickels, I can count them as a dime. 40, 41 cents. Okay, get back up to your starting position, and let's turn to the next page. I'm going to give you a little time to get all your money set up so that we're ready to go when we're counting. All right, boys and girls, my page is all set up. I hope yours is too. If you have to, you can always put me on pause if you don't have enough coins, and you can keep replacing and then just put me back on play and we'll be ready to go. So let's go ahead and count number 3. I see my dimes, and again, I remember a tip that I taught you. 2 nickels can equal a dime. Sometimes dimes are easier to count than nickels, but I can only count it by a dime if I have 2 nickels. 10, 20, I can count this as a dime, 30, 31 cents. And if you want to go back and you want to count right through, sometimes it helps our brain count money better. 10, 20, 30, 31 cents. Let's go to number 4. Right away I take a look, I see 2 nickels. I'm going to count them as a dime. I'm going to draw a line under them. 10, 20, 30, 40. Now I count 5 more. 45, 46 cents. $10, $20, $30, $40, $45, $46. Number 5. Right away I see 2 nickels. I'm going to count them as a dime. And if you don't want to count them as a dime, that's okay. But that's my choice. I think I like it better that way. It's a lot easier to count. 10, 20. I'm going to start counting by ones. 21, 22, 23, 24 cents. And number 6, I spy 2 nickels, 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33 cents. Boys and girls, go ahead and push your paper over to the side, and I'm going to show you a little game that I have, just for practice. So if you have a piece of scrap paper or you have a whiteboard, remember, you don't have a ruler, you're not going to have a perfect circle, but I'm going to show you a little game that I play with my second graders. So I'm going to draw a circle, and I'm going to divide that circle into thirds, just like that. The best you can. It's not going to be perfect. And I'm going to put 10 cents in this third, and 5 cents in this third, and a penny in this third. And if you have a pencil and your mom or dad have a paper clip, you can go ahead and create a spinner, just like this. And you can spin, and whatever it lands on, I landed on 5 cents, I can roll my die, and I should get out 5 nickels. Then I spin again, and I should get out, I roll my die, 4 pennies. And after 2 spins and 2 rolls, you can go ahead and count the money. I see all nickels, I can count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 cents. And you can play that a couple times just to count dimes, nickels, and pennies. Okay, boys and girls, today we're going to add the quarter. Remember, when we count a quarter, we count by 25s. 25, 50, 75, $1. The quarter is the coin that if you pull money out of your pocket and you have a quarter, that's the coin you're going to use first because it's worth the most. Not because it's worth the biggest, because it's worth the most and it's worth 25 cents. So let's get out 3 quarters. Let's get out 2 dimes, and let's get out a nickel. So we've been practicing counting by 25s. So when I count my quarters, I count by 25s. 25, 50, 75. Now I stop and I see, now I have to count on by 10s because dimes are worth 10. So you might already know that when you count by 10s, my 1s never change. I go up 10, which becomes 85. Or I can count on my fingers all the way to 10. So 25, 50, 75, 85. I see another dime. The 1s never change, only my 10s, because I'm adding a 10. It becomes 95. I'm going to go back and I'm going to count that again because as you hear it, you get better at it. 25, 50, 75, 85, 95, and 5 more is $1. 25, 50, 75, 85, 95, $1. Go ahead, get back up to your starting position. Clear your mat, clear your paper, whatever you need to do. And let's try another one. Let's get out 2 quarters. Let's get out 3 dimes. And how about 2 pennies? Ready? Let's count. I see quarters, I count by 25s. 25, 50. Now I see dimes. I count on by 10. 60, 70, 80. Now I count on by ones. 81, 82 cents. Remember, write it the other way using a dollar sign and a decimal. 82 cents. I'm going to count it again. 25, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82 cents. Go ahead back up to your starting position. And let's do one more. Let's do 1/4. 3 dimes. How about 2 nickels? And a penny. Right away, as soon as I see it, I spy those 2 nickels. 5 plus 5 equals a 10. I'm going to draw a line right under there so I already know. I'm going to start with my quarter. It's worth 25. 25. I'm going to count 10 more. Remember, the ones never change when I'm adding a 10 to it. 35, 45, 55, 65, 66 cents. I'm going to count it again. 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 66 cents. Go ahead and clear off your mat and go ahead and get your work pages out of your book, and if not, take a look at the link above and you can work the pages right from there. Boys and girls, if you're looking for the page number, you're looking at pages 489, 490, and 491. This is a little bit like we saw in the dimes, nickels, and pennies. Go ahead and get out 2 quarters. Get out 3 dimes. Get out 2 nickels. And how about 5 pennies? And let's count each of them and write in the total. I see 2 quarters, I count by 25. 25, 50 cents. Dimes, I count by 10. 10, 20, 30 cents. I spy 2 nickels. I know that 2 fives, 5 plus 5 equals 10 cents. And let's count our pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cents. Clear off. And be ready for page 490. Here's my vocabulary word, quarter. 25 cents. I know that I count by 25s when I'm counting quarters. 25, 50, 75. Let's see if you can remember what comes right after 75. I think that's $1. 25, 50, 75, $1. So I see coins, quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies. I'm going to get my paper set up. 2 quarters, 2 dimes, a nickel, and 2 pennies. And just like we did when we started the video, we're going to count on. I remember quarters, I count by 25s. 25, 50. Now I count 10 more, and if you notice when I write 60, like I said before, my ones never change because I'm adding a 10. 70, I count 5 more, 75, 76, 77 cents. If you notice down in number 1, the back of the quarter looks a little different. If your quarters that you have at your table have a state and whatever represents the state, it's still the quarter. These are the new quarters that are coming out. And if you don't, then you have the old quarter. So let's get 2 quarters out. Let's get 2 dimes, and let's get 2 nickels. And I already I-spied, I bet some of my second graders already I-spied it. 2 nickels, drawing a line underneath, I know that already equals 10. So I know I start counting by 25s. 25, 50, I stop, I know I see dimes, now I have to count 10 more. 60, 70, 80 cents. Let's get ready for number 2. This time I see 3 quarters. 1 dime, 1 nickel, and a penny. And start counting by quarters. 25, 50, 75, I remember 10 more, 85, I have to count on by a nickel, 5 more, 90, 91 cents. Okay, boys and girls, when you turn to the next page, you get your page set up, and I'm going to... Okay, boys and girls, so let's look at number 3. We're going to start counting by quarters. 25, 50, I know I count 10 more, 60, 70, 80, I see the nickel, I have to count 5 more, 85, 86 cents. Let's take a look at number 4. I see 4 quarters. Remember, counting by 25s. Ready? Let's count. 25, 50, 75, 100, but I like to say $1. But it is 100 cents. And I write a dollar sign, a 1, a decimal, 0, 0. Let's do the next one. Why don't you try this one on your own? I won't say anything while I'm counting it. Let's see if you got it right. I got 92 cents. 25, 50, 75, 85, 90, 91, 92 cents. All right, let's look at down below. It says, how many quarters do you need to purchase each item? So the first item I see is a nice little pom-pom, and I look at the price tag, and it says 50 cents. And it's very important to know how many quarters you need to be able to buy that when you go into a store. So what I like to do is I like to count by 25s. If I'm counting by 25s, just the way we've practiced the past couple lessons, I'm going to count until I get to 50. 25, 50 cents. I notice I have 2 fingers up. That means I need 2 quarters. And I can buy that pom-pom for 50 cents. Now I look, I see a book, and it's worth 100 cents. 100 cents really means $1. So let's count by 25s like we've been working on, and wait until we get to $1. Let's see how many quarters we need. 25, 50, 75, $1. How many fingers do I have up? 4. That means I'm going to need 4 quarters to buy that book. Now I see a megaphone. It's worth 75 cents. Let's count on by 25s and see how many we need till we get to 75 cents. Ready? 25, 50, 75 cents. I have 3 fingers up. That means I need 3 quarters. So boys and girls, here's a little activity to practice quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies. Remember that circle I drew? Remember, it wasn't perfect. Mine wasn't perfect. I don't expect yours to be. But you can create a spinner this time. And we're going to divide this into fourths. So a line down the middle, a line across. And this time let's put 1 cent, 5 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents. Get that paper clip out, get that pencil, go ahead and spin. I got a nickel. Now I roll my die, I need 3 nickels. Spin again. Oh, I got nickels again. I'm going to spin again. I got pennies. I'm going to roll. I get out my 3 pennies. And I know when I count my coins, I have to organize them from the coin that's worth the most in value. So then I organize them and I count 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18 cents. And you can keep practicing that until you get really good at counting pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters.